Here is where we left off on our last video. Oops, what's happening? Okay, we had a small error on our last video. Um, but to solve this issue, we are going to do this value, which is going to be a bool, which is going to check if that particular checkbox was checked or not. Then we are going to call which method is this? Change selected size, and here we are going to take a value and we are going to take a string as well called size or size name or size. But anyways, the size is just the name of the size, if it's small, medium, large, or anything. And in here we'll just do this value, and if this value is true, meaning that this field is selected and this size is present inside of the selected sizes list, we are going to remove the size, and if the value is false, we are going to add. But probably I will need to do something like set state here. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back here, and here we're going to return change, what's the name of our method? Change selected size value, and this method is going to take the value and a string, which is the size name we are going to give. For this case, going to be this. Okay, let's run our app. So what we're doing here, first we're checking, we have this selected sizes, which is a list that contain all of the sizes that were selected. And first we're going to check if the selected sizes list contain the XS size, and if it does, this is going to be true, so the checkbox will be selected. If it doesn't, it's going to be false, so the checkbox won't be selected. But if we click on it, if this value is false, meaning that this size is not included into this, we are going to add, and if it's included, we're going to remove. That's the basic logic of it. Let's see how it works. Okay. Sizes contains this, and that's false. And when I oops. Somehow our logic was not working perfectly. Okay, let's just write insert into index 0 our size. Okay, let's go back up here. Then we are just going to check if selected sizes contain XS, but it doesn't contain, so it's going to be false at the beginning. Unchanged value, perfect. And then we're going to pass here the value and XS, which is the field. Okay, let's run this again and see why our logic is not working perfectly. We have a small problem here. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's try to go back here to our function. This is kind of redundant because we're doing the same thing twice, but since it's giving a small problem, let's so just right here, selected sizes, and we'll check if they contain size. If it contains size, we're going to remove. If it doesn't, we are going to insert. Okay, let's see what's happening. Okay, it's working. Now the size is inserted. I don't know why it didn't work with the value, but okay, we will go like this. No problem. It's not an issue. So let's do this for the rest of them. And for example, let me, when I click on this again, it will be unselected. Now we remove this particular size from the selected sizes list. When I hit, I insert this to the sizes list, and when I hit again, I deselect it. Okay, perfect. Now let's do this for the rest of them, and then we're going to add images. And if you think that this is too much, feel free to just stop the video, check the link, check the code to understand what's happening. Okay, now we're going to do this for all of this code here. So what I'm going to do here is I'll copy this checkbox and I'll just paste it everywhere. And here the size is going to be S because we're dealing with the small size. And here the size is going to be M caps. And here the size is going to be L. So you just have to do this process for all of the available sizes. So it's a bit of a hassle, but it seems like you don't have a lot of options. So you can just speed this process up on your, if you don't want to see me doing this all over again or over and over again, you can just do that. But if you want, you can stay here together. Size 28. Size 30. size 32, size 34, size 36. And I know this is boring, guys, so you can just skip this part, but since I'm not going to edit this video, I'll just keep it like that. Size 38, and I'm tired now. Okay, but let me do everything. Let's finish what we started. Size 40. Let's finish what we started. Size 42. Size 44. We're almost there, guys. Size 46. Size 48. And finally we have size 50. Okay, it took us forever, but it's done. Let's check all of this work, what has it have done for us. You see, now you can just pick the available sizes, and the picked sizes are going to be the available sizes for that particular product. You see how amazing is this? Super good, isn't it? So you can choose the product name, you give blah blah blah, the category you just pick here, formal, the brand, spicy, and we have an issue there on the brand. Okay, I don't know what's happening, but we're going to check that. We're going to give a look into that. But okay, before we go and solve that small problem that I believe that's something to do with the structure of it, let us add some pictures here. Okay. So finally, we've been waiting for this since forever, and now finally we're going to add some images. Don't worry about that issue. We're going to come back to it and solve it. Okay. Perfect. Let me just put everything on set ready. Okay, perfect. Now let's make this quick. And I'm not really liking to see this over here. But okay, don't worry, we will worry about this later. Now we want to use we want to import, okay, it has to be, we have the image provider or image picker. Okay, we have it. Fine. Now what are we going to do here is file image. We're going to call this file image 1, and now then we need the file image 2 and finally file image 3. Okay, perfect. Now let's go to this and on press select image, perfect, and then we will need to create here image picker is what we want. Image image picker dot pick image source dot gallery. Okay, let's create this. Then will be equal to we'll do await oops, this is going to be a synchronous method, and here instead of file image, let's just give it file. And here you can just give image 1, image 2, image 3. Perfect. And then in here we'll write image 1 await pick image. Okay, let's try this. Manage, add products, and then what we have to do here is just allow our shop app to use our gallery, to access our gallery. But okay, we are going to come back into that. It's working. Let's just make sure, we want to make sure that for all of the images this is going to work. So this is for the select image. Let's do something. Where did we call that method? Is here, select image here, and here I'm going to give 1 just to show that it's the first image. Don't worry about the error, we're going to fix that. And here we are going to give 2 just to make sure that we're selecting the second image. And finally we're going to give 3. And now let's go back here, and we will take the pick image and int image number, and now we're going to use a switch image number. So switch works as it was an if-else statement. So case 1. So if the image number is 1, meaning that it's the first image, this is what we want. This is what we want to do. Matter of fact, let's do something else. I'll create a temporary image file here. File temp emg is going to be equal to this. And now in here we're going to do set state, and we will write the emg1 is equal to temp image. Okay. And of course, after this we need to write a break, and let's copy this 1 time, 2 times, and we are going to say if the image is image 2, what we want to define equal to the temporary image now is not the image 1 but is the image 2, and finally here the image 3. Perfect. And now let's go back to our images here. For the child, this is what we want. I'll write here display child. This is going to return, I can write display child 1 for example, and this is going to return a widget. And just now you will understand why are we doing the display child 1. Of course this method will return a widget, and in here we are going to say if emg1 is null, we will return this. Else we will return. So if the image is not selected, we are just going to return that plus icon, and if the image is selected in here, we will want to return image file image1. Okay, let's try this before we implement to all of the code. And it seems like we have an error here. Okay, I had to close the app and I'll run it again. In the meantime, we'll create two methods just like this. And here we're going to call it display child 2, and finally we're going to call this display child 3. And for display child 2, we're going to test with image 2 if image 2 is null, show text, and display child 3, again we're going to do this with the child 3. So what are we doing here, guys? We're just saying first check if this image is null, or if we didn't select any image from the gallery, display this icon. But if the image is selected, display the image. Let's see in the code what's going to happen. Allow. We have these images from the gallery. Let me select this one. You see, here we have the image displaying, but it's not quite what we want. It's not quite what we want. And I can sense that we have a small issue here. I can sense that. I can sense that because this image changed on the wrong location and this did nothing. But this changed for the image too. Why is that? Let us go back here and understand the code. And I know, guys, that there's a lot going on here for this particular video, but just stick with me here. Oh, okay, because I called this method on the wrong location. These were supposed to be in here. And here. And I'll just take the opportunity and display child 2, and finally we want to display child 3. Ooh. What did we do wrong? Okay. We want to copy this from here. Perfect. Now let's go back here to the code, and I will remove this padding and just leave the image, and I'll do the same thing here. We will remove the padding and fit box fit fill, and width we're going to do double dot infinity. Let's rerun the code and see what happens again. Okay. These images are too small. I think that's the issue. Like the selected images are way too small. But okay, we are going to test these with proper images afterwards. Now we are just doing what we have to do, and let's come here. Image 2, and finally we are going to do the same thing for the image 3. Okay, now how are we going to make sure this thing in here works? Okay, if you pay close attention, let's upload the images to the database. Please, Santosh. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Okay, let's just oops. Make sure our code is well organized. Okay, now we're going to call a method called validate and upload. This method is going to do what it's saying here. We're going to validate everything, and if everything is fine, it's going to upload the images to our database. Okay, but let's check what's happening with the app now. Now we have this, and if we click on this, select this image, select the second image. Okay, so the third one is not selecting. Let's see what's happening for our third image. What is happening? Image gallery 2, image gallery 3. child selected 3. Other than that, what do we have here? Let's check this number. No else. Okay. Select image. Okay, here's the issue. Here we have to put case 3. Done. It will work. Now, if form key dot current state dot validate, so if the form is valid, we are going to do couple stuff here. First, let's see what we must have. For the quantity, field here, we are using the wrong controller. So here we have to use the quantity controller. It doesn't exist yet. So we'll come up here. We'll create a text editing controller. We're going to call it quantity controller is equal to text editing controller. Perfect. So according to our UI, first thing that we want to validate is that none of the we must have all of the 3 images. If image 1 not null and image 2 not null and image 3 not null. This is the first validation. All of the images must be provided. Done. Else, do you have a toast here? Flutter toast. But I guess we have this library imported there. Type ahead, we don't need it now. Let's import Flutter toast. So else Flutter toast dot show toast, and the message is all the images must be provided. This will be the toast. Okay, the second validation that we want here is that the quantity and the product name must be given. That's true. Current category perfect. And the final thing we're going to make sure here is if selected sizes is empty, so if the selected sizes is not empty, then we can do something else. If the user or the admin didn't select any size, we're going to have flutter toast dot show message, and the toast is select at least one size. Okay, now once all of this is given, if all the images are done and the selected size and everything, what are we going to do now? Now we are going to do the following. I'm thinking if I create a different file for this, or I just insert from here. Okay. No problem, we can just insert them from here. Let's create a string. We are going to call this string image URL. Okay. Now I need to create a final, and this final is going to be Firebase user okay, if I use Firebase user current user, this would help us creating our no, because the admin doesn't do a login, so there's no point of finding the Firebase user. Okay, final string pic picture. Okay, I can give that name. So this is just going to provide a different picture name or name of the image inside of the database. So we are basically creating an ID for this image. Just give date time dot now, which is going to take, okay, this is just going to provide the current time in milliseconds, and we want all of these to be converted to string. And then dot jpg. So this is going to be this will provide the different name for each image we upload to the database. Okay. But we have that to create. If you want to create a different name, you can just use UID as well. Okay. And then after we have created a new image name, we have here storage upload task. We have to import the library to upload the images. Okay, we're going to call this task, and we are going to create storage being our Firebase storage dot, one second, is it capital or what? Storage dot, no, it's not capital. Storage dot ref. Okay, so this is we are just trying to provide the reference to our database storage.